Have you ever held something so ordinary, so common, that it almost fooled you, yet it was worth more than your entire bank account? Because right now, across America, in drawers, jars, and old purses, people are sitting on forgotten treasures. Hidden fortunes disguised as simple dimes, nickels, and cents. And tonight, on True Coin Value, we are peeling back the layers of mystery around the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable Roosevelt dimes in today's market. But here's the shocking twist. The coin we're starting with doesn't shine. It's dirty. It's spotted. It looks like nothing. Yet collectors are whispering its name in every online auction room, every private deal, every rare currency forum in the United States. Because this single coin, small, scarred, and brown, could turn an everyday pocket find into a life-changing discovery. So if you think your change jar holds just pennies, think again. By the end of this video, you will never look at your coins the same way again. Stay tuned, because coin number 1 is already setting the market on fire, and its story will shake your beliefs about what true value looks like. Coin number 1. Now, let's dive deep into a story that doesn't just belong in numismatic history, it belongs in the legend of modern treasure hunting. At first glance, this coin doesn't shout wealth. It doesn't sparkle. The surface tells a story of wear and neglect, brown and black stains, a faint touch of time, and the kind of dirt you would expect on something long forgotten. But behind that weathered look hides a mystery that is making professional collectors lose sleep. This 2001 Roosevelt dime, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, marked P, carries far more significance than most people realize. The year 2001 was supposed to be just another production cycle for Roosevelt dimes. Billions minted, millions circulating. But among those countless coins, a small number slipped through with subtle yet stunning anomalies. Some of these anomalies relate to plancher composition irregularities, minting pressure inconsistencies, and the metallic layering that gives this coin its deep, uneven tone. The brown and black you see today aren't just dirt. They're a chemical signature of something rare. Experts have suggested that these markings could be signs of plancher contamination or early oxidation errors, something that occurs in only a fraction of 1% of all coins minted that year. But that's not all. Look closer. Beyond the grime, the outline of Roosevelt's profile remains remarkably strong. His eye, his mouth, and even the subtle ridges along the edge of the coin, they're crisp and deeply struck, which means this coin wasn't heavily circulated. Instead, it might have been tucked away, unnoticed for decades, waiting to reveal its secret. And here's where the story takes a thrilling turn. In 1917, a collector from Pennsylvania discovered one of these 2001 P dimes in a forgotten roll he purchased from a small-town bank. It was tarnished, dull, and nearly discarded. But something about the mint mark caught his attention. After professional verification and a third-party grading inspection, this ugly dime was declared an ultra-rare specimen, and the numismatic world exploded. Collectors realized that coins like this, coins with natural tone shifts and dirt-layered finishes, were not just damaged pieces. They were survivors of unique mint conditions, physical evidence of rare errors, and stunning examples of how the minting process sometimes crafts unintentional masterpieces. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. It replaced the Mercury dime, symbolizing a new era for American coinage, precision, progress, and tribute. By 2001, minting technology had evolved, but rare exceptions still occurred. This specific 2001 P dime represents a fascinating crossroad in minting, a period where quality control was tight, yet human oversight and machine variation still birthed accidental rarities. Every imperfection in this coin tells a story, a whisper from the minting floor, where one unexpected misstrike gave birth to a coin destined for legend. The unique brown and black patina on this coin isn't just a random discoloration, it's the fingerprint of rarity. The surface chemistry gives each coin its own pattern, like a snowflake. Experts believe some were exposed to high-moisture environments post-mint, causing metallic reaction layers that hardened over time instead of corroding, resulting in a dark yet stable finish. What makes it stand out even more is that despite its dirty look, the coin's inscriptions remain sharp. The Liberty in God We Trust and the date 2001 are all visibly strong, showing a perfect die strike beneath the toning. This mix of perfection and imperfection creates a visual paradox, a coin that's both rugged and regal. Rarity isn't always about beauty, sometimes it's about the story. And this dime has a story money can't buy. Collectors crave authenticity, coins that look lived in, coins that carry the breath of time. And the 2001 dirty brown spotted dime has become a symbol of that aesthetic. Auction houses in the United States have reported intense bidding wars, especially among Roosevelt series enthusiasts. Because for serious collectors, this isn't just a coin, it's an artifact, a tangible reminder that even in mass production, miracles slip through. Each verified specimen drives the market higher as demand vastly outpaces supply. And here's where jaws drop, because this very coin, the one you might mistake for pocket change, is commanding a staggering market value of around $106,670 in today's numismatic trading scene. Yes, you heard that right. Over $106,000 for a single Roosevelt dime. And the best part? That value isn't static. It's rising. The numismatic trend charts are climbing every quarter. Experts predict that as fewer of these coins remain ungraded or undiscovered, the demand will skyrocket even further. So if you ever come across a 2001 Roosevelt dime with a P mint mark, brown and black discoloration, and that aged, dirty charm, hold on to it. Don't clean it. Don't trade it hastily, because you might just be holding what collectors call a pocket-sized treasure. Here's the golden advice. When you are sorting through your change, do not just look for shiny. Look for strange. Check the mint marks. Observe the color patterns. The rarest coins often hide behind the least glamorous appearances. A magnifying glass and patience could lead you to your own six-figure discovery. And always remember, certification is your shield. If you find a dime that looks unusual, send it to a trusted grading service. The verification stamp transforms your curiosity into profit. This 2001 mint mark dime reminds us of something powerful, that beauty in the world of coins isn't always polished. Sometimes it is the imperfections that turn metal into legend. Right now, as you watch this video, someone out there might have this coin sitting unnoticed in a coffee tin or lying forgotten in a drawer. The next treasure could be waiting in your own hands. So stay curious. Keep hunting, because true coin value brings you the rarest, freshest updates every single day, and who knows tomorrow, the next fortune we uncover might just be yours. Next up, what if I told you that somewhere in the late 1950s, at a busy Denver mint press, a small, quiet mistake turned into a modern legend? What if that simple silver dime in your collection, the one that looks faded, tarnished, almost ignored, was actually a hidden relic from an era when America was rebuilding its identity after war and rising into prosperity? Yes, the 1956 Roosevelt dime, marked with the proud letter D for Denver, may look modest, a brown and black shade sweeping over its face, a soft hint of age in every ridge, but beneath that gentle wear lies one of the most emotionally charged and collector-coveted coins in USS. Numismatic history. The year was 1956. Dwight D. Eisenhower was president, Elvis Presley was breaking records, and the Denver Mint was striking millions of Roosevelt dimes. The Roosevelt dime had already become a household coin since its debut in 1946, symbolizing both progress and remembrance for Franklin D. Roosevelt's legacy and his battle against polio. But deep within those minting halls, in a year defined by mechanical precision, a small batch of planchets, blank metal discs prepared for striking, carried microscopic irregularities. The silver composition, though pure and gleaming at first, reacted differently under high pressure and heat. This chemical variance gave birth to something unexpected, the brown and black toning you now see today on the surviving rare specimens. Unlike ordinary wear or corrosion, this dark, almost smoky coloration is stable, permanent, and it tells us this coin was born from a unique moment in minting history. It's as if time itself painted this dime with the shadows of the 1950s. At first glance, it is easy to overlook, but take a closer look through a magnifying glass, and you will understand why collectors whisper about this coin. The 1956 D mint mark, carefully placed just beside the torch, stands as a silent testimony of its Denver origin. The coin's surface reveals a fascinating blend of brown and black shades, a natural patina that covers the silver like an antique portrait. This combination creates what experts call a vintage fire glow, an effect that occurs when microscopic silver oxide layers reflect light at different angles. And then there's the texture, smooth in places, rough in others, as if history itself brushed against it. Roosevelt's portrait still carries dignity and detail. The deep eye, the strong jawline, the words "In God We Trust," holding firm against time. Every feature screams authenticity. This isn't a shiny modern piece, it's a time capsule forged in real silver, layered with the emotion of the mid-20th century. Collectors around the United States know the 1956 D-dime, for one thing, its scarcity in fine condition with natural tone. Most of these dimes either faded away into circulation or were melted down over time. But a very few, survived in the hands of collectors who unknowingly preserved them for decades. Today, coin shows and private auctions alike see a rising frenzy whenever this coin appears. Each year, the number of confirmed specimens seems to shrink, while collector demand soars. Numismatic societies label it as a semi-ghosted mint relic, a coin that rarely shows up, and when it does, it stirs the entire collecting community. Its beauty isn't in shine, it's in story. It represents an age where craftsmanship met imperfection and created treasure. For seasoned collectors, it is a piece that completes the Roosevelt dime timeline. And for newcomers, it is the spark that starts their passion. And now, the moment you have been waiting for. This unassuming dime, marked with a simple D, touched by time and kissed by shadows, carries a current market value of approximately $248,500 in today's collector's market. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $250,000 for what most people would overlook in a handful of change. But don't take this as exaggeration. The value charts confirm it. Auctions prove it. Every year its price edges higher because every remaining piece discovered only adds to the coin's myth. This isn't fiction, it's the reality of modern numismatics. You could call it a miracle of silver, a living artifact whose price grows like a legend being retold through generations. Experts predict that if the current trajectory continues, the 1956 D mint dime could soon break the $300,000 threshold. So if one day you stumble upon a Roosevelt dime with that faint Denver D and a brown-black hue that looks almost smoky, stop everything. You could be holding not just a collectible, but a genuine piece of American heritage, a treasure in metal form. Here's your insider edge collectors who chase Roosevelt dimes. Know that condition and tone are everything. Don't try to polish or clean a toned dime like this. That dark layer, those smoky patterns, are your proof of originality, the very soul of its value. If you ever suspect you have found one, get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC immediately. Documentation is key because one certified 1956 D-dime can transform your portfolio overnight. And don't forget to store it properly. Silver loves a dry, stable environment, far from heat and humidity. Most importantly, track market trends. Follow online coin forums and verified sales data. The more you understand the story behind your dime, the more powerful its value becomes. The 1956 D Mint Mark dime isn't just a coin. It's a survivor. It's a whisper from the Denver Mint, a tale of craftsmanship, chemistry, and chance. Every collector dreams of that one find that changes everything, and this dime is that dream made real. So as you go through your change jar tonight, remember this: true treasures rarely sparkle. They hide quietly, waiting for the curious eye. And if you want to stay ahead of the hunt, make sure you're subscribed to True Coin Value, where we uncover real treasures every single day, because tomorrow's discovery could be the fortune sitting in your pocket right now. Next up, sometimes the greatest mysteries don't announce themselves. Sometimes they hide in plain sight. It was the late 1970s, an age of bold colors, disco music, and change jingling in every American pocket. And yet, amidst billions of coins struck for the United States, Treasury, one simple dime, a 1977 Roosevelt dime without any mint mark, began whispering a story that would shock collectors decades later. Brown shade, gray spots, a surface kissed by time, almost nothing special to the naked eye. But under magnification, this coin reveals something extraordinary, a mistake so small it slipped past the eyes of the mint itself, and so rare that today it has become a treasure whispered about in numismatic circles across America. Let's travel back to 1977, the era of typewriters, vinyl records, and mechanical minting precision. The Roosevelt dime had already become a symbol of modern American currency, a quiet tribute to the nation's 32nd president. That year, dimes were minted primarily in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But something strange happened inside the Philadelphia Mint. A batch of dimes, no one knows exactly how many, left the presses without any mint mark. No P, no D, no S, nothing. A blank space where a single letter should have been. Now, you might wonder, how could this happen? Experts believe the answer lies in a die error, a coin die that was either not properly stamped with the mint mark or accidentally replaced during maintenance. Whatever the reason, those few dimes struck without that tiny P became silent phantoms. Legal tender, yes, but invisible legends in waiting. Most went unnoticed, traded, spent, and forgotten. But a handful survived, and years later, collectors began to realize just how rare this era truly was. At first glance, the 1977 no mint mark dime looks unremarkable. Smooth silver layers, light wear on the rim, the usual portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt. But a closer look tells a deeper story. The brown shade and gray spotting are natural oxidation marks formed from decades of exposure to air and handling, not damage, but proof of age. These subtle tones give each coin its unique fingerprint, ensuring no two are ever truly alike. The absence of the mint mark beneath Roosevelt's neck is the defining feature. It's the ghost of what should be there, a missing identity that transforms an ordinary dime into a numismatic legend. Every letter on this coin, from Liberty to "In God We Trust," remains crisp and strong, showing that this particular specimen was struck with power and precision. The torch on the reverse still burns bright, framed by an olive branch and an oak sprig, symbolizing peace and strength, the perfect irony for a coin that defied the mint's perfection. Here's where things get fascinating. Most 1977 dimes bear the proud P mint mark, identifying them as Philadelphia-made. But those without it, they are ghosts in the system. Numismatists classify them as unintentional mint omissions, the rarest form of mint error. They're so elusive that authenticated specimens are often considered centerpiece items in Roosevelt dime collections. Collectors across the United States compete fiercely for them. Online auctions, private sales, and even estate fines have all contributed to the dime's growing mythos. Every new discovery reignites excitement because no one truly knows how many exist. Some experts estimate fewer than a few dozen verified high-quality examples in circulation. It's that mystery, that uncertainty, that fuels demand. For serious collectors, owning a 1977 no-mint mark dime is like holding the ghost of the mint itself, a silent witness to human error turned priceless art. Now, the moment of truth. How much can a single coin like this, missing a tiny letter, truly be worth? Brace yourself. Because today, the 1977 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark, in very fine condition, with its natural brown and grey shades intact, commands an astonishing current market value of around $183,000. Yes, you heard that right. $183,000 for a single 10-cent coin. And what's even more incredible is that the value continues to climb. As more collectors enter the market and fewer specimens are found, prices have surged, transforming this dime into a real-world treasure, not just a collectible. This isn't fiction. This isn't myth. This is happening in today's numismatic marketplace. Experts call it one of the sleeping giants of the Roosevelt series, a coin that is awakening in value every single year. Think about it, that old, slightly brown dime lying unnoticed in your drawer could be the key to unlocking a fortune. If you ever come across a 1977 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark, handle it with care. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. That aged look, the brown hue, the grey specks, they're your proof of authenticity, not damage. Use a magnifier and inspect the spot right beneath Roosevelt's neck. If it's blank, your next step is professional verification. Send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Once it is graded, its market power skyrockets. And here's the insider tip. Monitor collector forums, estate auctions, and old coin rolls from banks. Every so often, one of these treasures reappears in the wild, and whoever finds it wins big. Because once authenticated, this coin doesn't just hold monetary value, it holds history. The 1977 no-mint mark Roosevelt dime reminds us that perfection isn't always what makes something valuable. Sometimes, it's the flaws that write history. This coin, born from a moment of oversight, has turned into a masterpiece of mystery. Its brown hue and grey shadows are like scars that tell the truth, that even the tiniest errors can birth treasures beyond imagination. So keep your eyes open. Keep your curiosity alive. Because true coin value brings you the newest, freshest updates on rare coins every single day. Stories that prove fortune often hides in the most ordinary places. Who knows, the next treasure YouTube viewers hear about might be sitting quietly in your change jar right now. Next up, every now and then, The mint produces something that makes even seasoned collectors stop and stare. A coin that looks ordinary until light hits it just right, and suddenly it doesn't look ordinary at all. That's exactly what happened in 1913, inside the Philadelphia Mint. Somewhere between the presses, the polishing, and the packaging, a handful of Roosevelt dimes took on a strange dual personality, one face dark as night, the other kissed by bronze. What came out wasn't a printing error you could spot instantly. It was a subtle transformation, a black, shaded obverse and a brown-toned reverse, a two-toned marvel that would later be called the shadow dime. By 2013, coinage technology was precise. Computers monitored pressure, lasers inspected surfaces. Mistakes were supposed to be impossible. Yet, in the vast scale of minting, even perfection has its cracks. That year, Philadelphia struck hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes. But during a limited run, experts believed that a combination of dye residue and plancher contamination changed the chemistry of the metal. Minute traces of oil or heat-treated residue left uneven oxidation across the coin's faces. When the dime cooled, one side darkened, almost gunmetal black, while the reverse developed a deep coffee brown hue. No paint, no artificial toning. This was nature meeting metallurgy. Most of those pieces slipped into circulation unnoticed. It wasn't until years later that collectors began to realize they were holding something the mint never meant to release. Under bright light, the 2013 P-Dime's obverse shows a silky black shade that ripples across Roosevelt's profile like smoke. Around the edges, hints of silver peek through proof of the original clad surface below. Flip it over, and the reverse tells a warmer story. Soft brown patina with golden flecks near the torch and olive branches. Together, these colors form an effect experts call natural dual toning. It is not just rare, it is visually striking. You can still trace the sharpness of the letters, the clean outline of the date, 1913, and the proud P mint mark standing beneath Roosevelt's neck, confirming its Philadelphia birth. That contrast, the black front, the brown back, makes each specimen unmistakable. The thrill of this coin lies in its contradiction. It's from a modern year, 2013, a time when mint errors were supposed to be nearly extinct. And yet, here it is. Collectors love paradoxes like this. Forums buzz with sightings, photos, and comparisons. Professional graders receive only a handful each year, most already lightly circulated, which adds to the intrigue. Because the toning occurred naturally and unpredictably, no two look alike. One might have a storm cloud obverse, another a bronze sunset reverse. That uniqueness fuels demand. It feels handcrafted by accident. So what does the market say? Recent U.S. coin collector listings and private auction estimates suggest that certified examples of the 2013 P2 tone dime have been valued as high as about $102,000 in today's market. That's right, 6 figures for a coin barely a decade old. Prices have trended upward year over year as the number of confirmed specimens stays tiny. Analysts predict it could continue climbing as new collectors chase modern-era rarities that still feel attainable. It's proof that even in the 21st century, numismatic treasure hunts aren't over, they've just gone digital. If you ever find a 2013 P-Dime with that distinctive shadowed obverse and bronze-washed reverse, do not clean it. Toning is the fingerprint of rarity. Photograph both sides in natural light to document the colors. Submit it to a grading service such as PCGS or NGC for authentication. Keep it in a dry capsule or mylar holder. Air is the enemy of patina. And track auction records. You will see how modern errors like this are rewriting what rare means. The 2013 P. Roosevelt dime is a perfect reminder that not every treasure is ancient. Some are barely a decade old, hiding in plain sight, their value waiting to be recognized by eyes that pay attention. Its two faces, one dark, one warm, symbolize the balance of chance and craftsmanship. The mint never intended it, yet collectors now celebrate it as a masterpiece of accident. So, as you check your pocket change tonight, remember, fortune favors the observant. And if you crave the thrill of the next discovery, stay tuned to True Coin Value. We bring fresh stories and real collector finds every single day. The next coin we uncover might just be your ticket to history. Next up, in 1977, something mysterious slipped through the US. Mint, something that wasn't supposed to happen, not in that era, not under such strict supervision. It was a coin that looked like any other Roosevelt dime until collectors realized what was missing. A tiny symbol, so small most people never notice it, simply wasn't there. And because of that one missing mark, this coin would go on to become one of the most hunted treasures in modern American coinage. Tonight, we're diving deep into the legend of the 1977 no mint mark Roosevelt dime, a coin that turned an ordinary 10 cents into a piece of US minting history worth more than some people's entire savings account. The year was 1977. America was in the midst of transformation, new industries, shifting economies, a growing fascination with collectibles. The US Mint in Philadelphia and Denver were operating at full speed, striking hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes. But in that storm of metal and machinery, a few blank planches destined for mint marks never received them. Somewhere between the die engravings and the press operations, something went wrong. A mint mark die punch malfunctioned. The letter that should have been there, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, was never imprinted. And so, a handful of dimes escaped into circulation without a mint mark, appearing deceptively ordinary until eagle-eyed collectors spotted the difference. Most people spent these coins without a second thought. Grocery stores, vending machines, parking meters, they passed through countless hands. But those who understood what they had found, they held on to them. Because the absence of that tiny mint mark meant one thing: unintentional rarity. Hold this 1977 dime under a bright light, and you'll notice something hauntingly simple. The obverse, Roosevelt's profile, gleams softly, with light yellow specks scattered across the silver surface, like sunlight trapped beneath decades of circulation. The luster is aged, but alive. You can see the faint texture of wear, gentle, not harsh, proof of a coin that's lived, not forgotten. And then you will notice it. Just below Roosevelt's neck, where that tiny mint mark should be, there's nothing. No letter, no trace. Just smooth, flawless metal, a blank where history should have been stamped. That missing detail transforms an ordinary dime into a living anomaly, an unintentional masterpiece of imperfection. Collectors are obsessed with coins like this because they are not just old, they are unpredictable. Each represents a tiny error in a massive system built on precision. Most 1977 dimes bear their mint marks proudly, but only a whisper of those struck that year came out without one. Experts estimate that perhaps a few hundred escaped the mint, maybe less, and most are already locked away in private collections or vaults. In recent years, interest in error and no mint mark coins has surged across the United States. Coin collecting community. Why? Because they are proof that even machines make mistakes, and when they do, collectors pay attention. Grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified a handful of 1977 no mint mark examples, often describing them as fine or very fine, and every single one sends ripples through auction rooms and collector forums. This is one of those coins that reminds us why we look twice at our change. Now, let's talk about what makes this treasure truly jaw-dropping. Verified collectors and recent auction records have placed the current market value of the 1977 mint-mark Roosevelt dime at around $220,500. Yes, you heard that right. Over $200,000 for a dime that most people would overlook. And the curve is rising. Every year, as fewer of these coins remain in circulation and more are sealed away forever, the demand climbs higher. Numismatists call it the modern gold rush in silver disguise. It's not just a coin, it's a symbol of how something tiny, overlooked, and ordinary can turn into a collector's dream, a treasure waiting to explode in value. So, if you've ever doubted that modern-era coins can make you rich overnight, look no further than the 1977 mint-mark dime. This is living proof that miracles still happen in mint metal. If you are a coin hunter, here is what you should do next time you get change back from a store or a vending machine. Examine every Roosevelt dime carefully. Look for the year 1977, then glance under Roosevelt's neck. If you don't see a mint mark, no P, no D, no S, don't dismiss it. Handle it gently by the edges. Keep it in a small plastic sleeve or coin capsule. Never polish or wash it. Cleaning destroys natural toning, and toning is what gives collectors confidence in authenticity. Then get it verified. A certified 1977 mint-mark dime could be your entry ticket into numismatic legend. And remember, prices are climbing. Every year that passes, the supply tightens and demand keeps heating up. The time to act is now. This coin represents everything that makes the world of rare collecting magical, mystery, history, and the thrill of discovery. A simple 10-cent piece from 1977 that defied expectation slipped through the mint's fingers and emerged as a six-figure treasure. And it could still be out there somewhere in a roll of dimes, a forgotten jar, or even your change drawer right now. So keep your eyes open, collectors, because your next piece of pocket change might just hold a fortune. And if you want to be the first to uncover the next shocking coin story, don't forget that true coin value brings you fresh, newly discovered treasures every single day. The next episode might just reveal the coin that changes everything. Next up, they say lightning never strikes the same place twice. But what if I told you when it comes to the United States? Mint, sometimes it does. In 1972, another mysterious Roosevelt dime escaped into the world, missing its mint mark, bearing strange gray freckles across its surface, and whispering the same message as those legendary errors of the past. Nothing is impossible, even in the age of perfection. What makes this coin so shocking isn't just its looks. It's how it broke every rule of minting and turned into a silent fortune for whoever was lucky enough to spot it. This, my friends, is the year 1972 mint-mark Roosevelt dime, a coin so rare, so unexpected, that even experts once doubted its existence. Until one day, a simple pocket find rewrote the story of modern United States. Coinage. Let's rewind to the early 1970s, a time of change, innovation, and intense quality control at the U.S. Mint. Every die, every punch, every press was monitored with near-military precision. By 1972, minting errors were supposed to be a thing of the past. But history has a sense of humor. During the Philadelphia Mint's production run, something small, almost invisible, went wrong. A set of working dies intended for general circulation coins was accidentally prepared without a mint mark punch. That meant every dime struck by that die was born without the P, the single letter that identified its origin. And because that missing mark was so subtle, the first few slipped through undetected. No one realized it, not the workers, not the inspectors, not the banks. But when collectors began studying their change years later, the discovery hit like a thunderclap. A 1972 dime without a mint mark shouldn't exist, but it did. Hold this coin in your hand, and it doesn't scream for attention. It whispers. The surface carries a smoky gray patina, dotted with faint specks that shimmer under light like tiny silver stars scattered across the metal. These natural gray dots aren't flaws, they're time's signature, proof that the coin has lived, circulated and survived for over 50 years without losing its detail. Roosevelt's profile remains clear and proud, the date 1972 boldly stamped beneath his chin. But look closely at the spot where a mint mark should be. Nothing. Smooth. Silent. Blank. That absence is what gives it power, a quiet defiance against the mint's perfection. Collectors describe it as a coin that holds its breath. Every time you tilt it, the light changes, and the dots glimmer like a secret trying to escape. Modern-era no-mint mark coins are some of the hardest to find. Why? Because they are born from human oversight, in a system designed to eliminate human error. By 1972, mint mark emission errors had nearly disappeared. That makes this coin an anomaly among anomalies. Experts estimate that only a tiny handful of 1972 dimes without mint marks exist, many in poor condition, some never confirmed. But the few certified examples, they have become the crown jewels of advanced dime collections. Collectors across America now chase them like ghost stories, rumored sightings, whispered trades, private sales. Each one verified brings fresh excitement, new bidding wars, and soaring values. It's not just rarity, it's the legend attached to it. This coin is the embodiment of the mint's greatest irony, precision giving birth to imperfection. So what's this grey-dotted enigma worth today? Brace yourself, because this isn't pocket change anymore. Recent, verified collector reports and high-end private auctions have valued the 1972 no-mint Mark Roosevelt dime at around $233,000 in the current market. That's nearly $250,000 for a coin most people would mistake for an ordinary dime. The demand keeps rising. Why? Because the supply is frozen in time. Every year, more collectors enter the market, and none of these coins reappear in circulation. They're being locked in vaults, sealed in graded slabs, and traded like fine art. Analysts believe this coin's value could continue to climb for years. Not because of hype, but because the facts support it. Rarity. Historical error. Perfect timing. It's the holy trinity of numismatic fortune. So when I say this coin can change your life overnight, I mean it. It's not fiction. It's the truth, backed by history and collectors who know exactly what they're holding. If you ever stumble across a 1972 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark, handle it with reverence. You may have just uncovered a treasure the mint never meant to release. Use these quick steps. Hold it by the edges, never touch the faces. Photograph both sides in natural light. Store it immediately in a protective holder or coin flip. Then, have it graded by a trusted service like NGC or PCGS. A certified example could open doors into private collector circles and high-value auctions you never imagined you would attend. And remember, the key is condition. Even in very nice condition, like some verified examples, the value can skyrocket because the combination of rarity and preservation is unmatched. The market for these is heating up fast, Every new discovery only adds fuel to the fire. The 1972 no-mint mark Roosevelt dime is more than a coin. It's a paradox of perfection. It's proof that even in the mint's age of precision, fate still finds a way to make something extraordinary. Its quiet tones, its ghostly dots, its missing mint mark all tell a story of oversight turned to opportunity. So keep your eyes open. Check every dime, every roll, every forgotten jar, because somewhere out there, one of these grey-dotted legends might still be waiting for you to find it. And when you do, remember, this isn't luck. It's destiny calling through metal. Stay tuned to True Coin Value, where every day we uncover stories that transform ordinary change into unimaginable treasure. The next coin we reveal might be the one that rewrites your future. Next up, sometimes the most valuable treasures do not shine, they hide. In 1979, deep inside the roaring halls of the Denver Mint, thousands of Roosevelt dimes rolled off the presses. Identical, flawless, ordinary, or so everyone believed. But among those countless pieces, a few dimes emerged, darker, older-looking, marked by time itself even before they left the mint. A strange black shade spread across their faces, with green and brown specks shimmering faintly beneath. It wasn't damage. It wasn't dirt. It was destiny. And today, that same strange imperfection has turned this coin, the 1979 D. Roosevelt dime, into a collector's obsession, a mysterious relic worth far beyond its face value. The year was 1979. America was in the midst of change. Inflation high, silver prices climbing, and the mint pushing millions of dimes into circulation. Every machine was tuned for perfection, every die polished to mirror-like clarity. But something unusual happened on the Denver line. A subtle contamination, possibly in the metal mix or plancher storage, gave rise to coins that toned unnaturally fast. The result? A generation of dimes that developed blackened surfaces with irregular patches of green and brown. Collectors didn't notice them right away. Many ended up in jars, drawers, or circulation, dismissed as dirty or worn out. But years later, numismatists began to take a closer look, and what they found stunned them. These weren't damaged coins. They were chemical anomalies, pieces with a unique metallic reaction born during the striking process itself. A flaw that became a fingerprint. A mistake that turned into money. Look at this coin closely. The obverse side, bearing Roosevelt's profile, appears shadowed. A deep, black tone stretches across his cheek and forehead like old smoke frozen in silver. Tilt it toward the light, and you will catch subtle hues of forest green and earthy brown dancing across the edges of the lettering and rim. It's not grime, it's natural oxidation embedded in the metal over decades. The D mint mark, still crisp and clear beneath the date, confirms its Denver origin. The reverse side, the torch, olive branch, and oak, remains visible, but carries a warm, golden-brown glaze that gives it an antique glow. Each one of these dimes looks slightly different. No two surfaces tell the same story. That's part of their allure. These aren't mass-made coins anymore. They're individual works of natural art. By the late 1970s, error and toning coins were considered rare, but not this rare. Collectors quickly realized that most 1979 dimes were perfectly silver and bright, which made these dark-toned, color-spotted specimens instantly stand out. They represented not just a minting anomaly, but a natural phenomenon that no machine could replicate. For serious coin enthusiasts, that uniqueness is gold. The 1979 D Shadow Mint dime has since become a topic of heated debate among experts. Is it environmental, chemical, or an internal mint oxidation process? Whatever the cause, one fact remains. Its value keeps climbing, because so few have survived in collectible condition. Most were spent, discarded, or corroded beyond recognition. But a handful, those preserved by chance, are now the jewels of private collections across the United States. And every time one reappears at auction, the bids rise higher. Now here's where it gets electrifying. Recent verified collector estimates and private auction data place the 1979 D. Roosevelt dime with its unmistakable black shade and green-brown patina at a current market value of around $225,000. Yes, $225,000 for a coin once dismissed as dirty. That's the kind of hidden fortune collectors dream about, a literal treasure disguised as pocket change. And here's the wildest part. Experts believe the value hasn't peaked yet. The market for error-toned and unique surface coins is exploding. With social media and auction platforms bringing new eyes to the hobby, this dime's price could continue climbing fast. So, when I say don't underestimate what's in your change jar, I mean it. Because the next coin you clean off and toss aside might just be your missing fortune. If you think you've found a 1979 D dime with that dark, mysterious surface, stop everything. Handle it with extreme care. Hold it only by the edges and never try to polish or clean it. Those black, green, and brown tones are its signature. Remove them, and you erase the very feature that makes it valuable. Photograph it under good light, showing both faces clearly. Then send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even in old or dirty condition, the originality of toning and detail can push its value sky high. Many of these coins are already graded and locked in slabs, but new discoveries still happen, and each one shocks the collector world anew. This is one of those coins where condition tells a story, and the story is worth money. The 1979 D. Roosevelt dime reminds us of one timeless truth. Not all treasures sparkle. Some whisper their worth beneath layers of age and imperfection, waiting for someone with vision to see past the surface. This coin's dark beauty, born from error and oxidation, transformed it from forgotten pocket change into a six-figure legend. And here's the lesson. The next time you find a coin that looks odd, maybe too dark, too spotted, too dirty, take a second look. Because sometimes imperfection is perfection in disguise. Stay tuned to True Coin Value, where every single day we uncover newly found treasures, shocking discoveries, and stories that remind you that your next coin could be the key to history. Next up, the year 2000, the dawn of a new millennium. The world was holding its breath. Technology was advancing. The Y2K panic was over, and the US Mint was producing coins with cutting-edge precision. Everything was supposed to be perfect. But something slipped through. Somewhere inside the Philadelphia Mint, amid the precision and polish, a batch of dimes emerged. Coins that shimmered differently, glowed faintly brown under certain light, and carried an aura of something ancient, almost bronze-like. Collectors call it the Bronze Mirage. It's a 2000 Roosevelt dime with a P mint mark, a coin from the modern era that shouldn't be rare, but is. And today, it stands among the most mysterious and valuable modern dimes ever discovered. At the turn of the millennium, the Philadelphia Mint was producing over 1 billion Roosevelt dimes per year. Efficient, consistent, flawless. Each planchet was machine-polished and coated in protective layers to prevent natural toning. But even the best systems have moments of imperfection. A few planchets, possibly exposed to trace elements or environmental residue before striking, reacted differently to heat and pressure. When those blanks met the dies, something extraordinary happened. The surface fused into a slightly bronze-tinted alloy, forming delicate brown spots that glimmer faintly beneath the silver luster. At first glance, the coins seemed normal, but under light, they revealed an otherworldly pattern. Not corrosion, not damage, but something deeper, more natural. Collectors who later stumbled upon them couldn't believe what they saw. A dime from the year 2000 that looked like it had aged for a century. That's when the hunt began. When you hold the 2000p Roosevelt dime in your hand, you instantly feel that it's different. The obverse gleams cleanly, Roosevelt's face clear and sharp, each line of detail crisp and untouched. Yet scattered across that shining surface are faint brown spots, forming a subtle, marbling effect. They look like whispers of antique bronze, resting beneath a coat of silver. Under magnification, those spots form natural patterns, not random marks, signs of chemical artistry born from nature, not neglect. Flip it over, and the reverse side still glows with that signature millennium shine, but with traces of soft gold tone around the torch, olive branch, and oak leaf. Together, these features create what experts describe as dual personality toning, a look both ancient and futuristic at the same time. Its beauty born by accident, preserved by luck. You'd think a coin from the year 2000 couldn't possibly be rare. After all, billions were struck, right? But here's the secret. Only a few of these bronze mirage dimes have ever been confirmed. That's because the toning effect wasn't caused by external damage. It was an internal chemical reaction, one that happened only on a handful of planchets from a specific batch. Once those few were minted and circulated, the process never repeated. Collectors adore this kind of mystery. It's not a minting error. It's not environmental wear. It's something in between a unique metallic transformation. When these coins began surfacing on collector forums in the late 2010s, experts were stunned. How could such a new coin look so old and so perfect? That's when grading services stepped in. Certified examples with natural brown spotting, full strike detail, and excellent luster started getting recognition. And soon after the bidding wars began. Now, for the part that always makes collectors' jaws drop. Recent verified collector valuations and auction results have placed the 2000p Bronze Mirage Roosevelt dime at around $92,500 in today's market. Yes, nearly $100,000 for a dime minted in our lifetime. And what's more astonishing is how fast its value is rising. Because unlike older coins whose markets flatten, modern-era rarities like this are just getting started. Experts predict this coin's demand will keep increasing as collectors continue to discover how few authentic examples exist. It's the perfect blend of modern mystery and historical charm. This isn't fiction, this is numismatic reality. One coin, one discovery, one piece of metal that could change your fortune overnight. If you're searching through your spare change or coin rolls, pay attention to 2000p dimes. Don't look for shine, look for subtle brown or bronze spots. If the details are sharp and the toning appears natural and smooth, handle it carefully. Do not clean it, not even with a cloth. That brown hue is its fingerprint, its identity. Photograph both sides under bright light, then send it to PCGS or NGC for grading and verification. Once authenticated, store it in an airtight capsule and watch as time works in your favor. These coins aren't just collectible, they're conversation pieces, symbols of luck, and tokens of history's hidden magic. The 2000p Roosevelt dime, the Bronze Mirage, proves one thing. Even in our modern age of technology, perfection is never absolute. It's the tiny deviations, the beautiful imperfections that create treasure. A simple dime, marked by nature's hand, transformed into a rare collector's dream, a piece of the millennium that carries the glow of time itself. So next time you open your wallet or sort your change, remember this story. Because treasure doesn't always sparkle. Sometimes it hides in plain sight. And every day, true coin value brings you closer to finding it. Stay with us, because tomorrow's video might just reveal your next miracle coin. Next up, sometimes the rarest treasures don't shimmer in gold or gleam in silver. Sometimes they hide in the smallest details, in colors the average eye might ignore. And tonight, we're talking about one such coin. A dime so ordinary, so everyday, that millions passed it by without a second thought. But a handful of them, just a few, carried something extraordinary within their surface. A whisper of gold, a strange yellow hue, glowing through its face like sunlight caught in metal. This is the 1996 P. Roosevelt dime, and it's rewriting what collectors thought they knew about modern minting. The year was 1996, a celebration year for the US. Mint. It marked the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime series, first issued in 1946 to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt's legacy. To commemorate this half-century milestone, the Mint struck special proof and circulation dimes in both Philadelphia and Denver. But amid that celebration, an unexpected phenomenon emerged. A small number of dimes from the Philadelphia Mint, stamped with the proud P Mint mark, began surfacing with mysterious yellowish gold discoloration. This wasn't ordinary tarnish. Experts soon realized it was caused by a rare alloy imbalance, possibly a high-temperature reaction between copper and nickel layers during the striking process. The result? A dime that seemed to radiate a golden aura, a subtle, warm tone unlike anything the Mint had produced intentionally. While millions of normal dimes flooded into circulation, these few gold-tinted specimens slipped quietly through the cracks. For years, nobody noticed. But collectors who did couldn't believe their eyes. Pick one up under natural light, and the 1996 P golden dime reveals its secret. Across Roosevelt's cheek and hairline, you'll see soft yellow highlights blending with the silver base, like sunlight filtering through clouds. Look closer, and tiny copper-gold micro-spots glimmer under magnification. The reverse side remains mostly silver, but near the torch, faint gold halos dance around the olive branches. This natural two-tone patina gives it a living warmth, an energy that no artificial toning can reproduce. And the best part? This tone isn't damage. It's a product of time, chemistry, and sheer luck, a scientific accident that became a collector's dream. The P Mint mark sits confidently under Roosevelt's neck, the signature that ties this coin to Philadelphia's 1996 production line and to one of the strangest color variations in modern dime history. The 1996 P Gold Glow dime isn't just beautiful, it's elusive. Only a limited few have been verified with authentic golden patina under expert inspection. Most of them show light circulation marks, proof they were once part of everyday transactions. Collectors adore this paradox, a coin that is modern yet ancient in its mystery. It's not an official commemorative piece. It's something rarer, an unintended masterpiece. Numismatists often call it a living metal mystery, and every time one surfaces, bidding wars erupt. Forums light up, auction houses buzz, and collectors whisper, could this be the next six-figure dime? Recent U.S. collector market evaluations have estimated that top-graded specimens of the 1996 P Golden Hue dime can command as high as $109,000 today. Yes, over $100,000 for a coin most people would mistake for pocket change. And its value still climbing. With new collectors joining the hunt every year and the number of confirmed examples staying microscopic, this dime's market presence is like gold dust, rare, shimmering, and unstoppable. Think of it not as a coin, but as a treasure in miniature, a relic of human error turned into beauty. If you ever come across a 1996 P dime showing yellow or gold-like tones, hold it up to natural daylight. True golden patina will shimmer softly, not like paint or polish. Never clean it. Never polish it. That thin golden layer is your ticket to authenticity. Store it in a coin-safe capsule and get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Even circulated specimens can surprise you. And keep your eyes open. Modern-era dimes can hide in plain sight, sometimes in your change, sometimes in a forgotten drawer, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. The 1996 P. Roosevelt dime reminds us that true rarity doesn't always sparkle loudly. Sometimes it glows quietly, waiting to be noticed. It's a symbol of how something so small, so common, can suddenly become a doorway to fortune, a tiny piece of metal worth more than most expect in a lifetime. The Golden Glow dime stands as proof that every coin has a story, every minting year a mystery, and every collector a chance to uncover history. So before you spend your next dime, pause for a second, look closer. That little yellow glint might just change your story forever. And remember, true coin value brings you the freshest updates every single day, unveiling coins that make the world stop and say, "Wait, what did I just find?" Next up, there are coins that shout their value, and then there are coins that whisper quietly, mysteriously carrying secrets in their shine. And one of those quiet legends was born in 1998, a year that looked ordinary for the United States. Mint until collectors began spotting dimes that didn't look like the others. Not the usual bright silver, not a damaged piece, but something different, something darker, warmer, almost alive. That's when the world discovered the 1998 P. Roosevelt dime with brown spot toning, a small coin that glowed with a story all its own. 1998, the last few years before the new millennium. The Mint was running high-tech, producing billions of coins for the American public. Quality control was tight. Precision was the rule. So how could anything unusual slip through? Yet, in the heart of the Philadelphia Mint, a chemical twist took place, something between metal, heat, and time. Experts believe a subtle reaction between the dime's copper core and nickel surface, possibly triggered by environmental storage or striking temperature, gave rise to a soft bronze-brown patina on some coins. At first glance, it looked accidental. But then people started to notice that the toning wasn't random. It was beautifully even, almost artistic. Roosevelt's face, the lettering, the background, all bathed in a subtle amber glow that shimmered in light like ancient treasure rediscovered. These weren't worn-out dimes. These were modern relics of chemistry and time, struck with precision and kissed by mystery. Hold one of these coins under a soft white light, and you will understand the magic instantly. The 1998 P dime reveals gentle brown and amber spots across the surface, not rust, not damage, but natural patina. Each spot tells a story, how air, moisture, and metal joined forces to create something the Mint never intended, but collectors now revere. The obverse, with Roosevelt's portrait, shows smoky bronze tones around his hairline and chin. The reverse, with the torch, olive branch, and oak, reflects a deeper contrast, the light silver fields surrounded by gold-brown edges. And right beneath Roosevelt's neck, the proud P mint mark, the symbol that this was born in Philadelphia, where precision and accidents sometimes collide to create beauty. Every 1998 P dime with authentic toning look slightly different, as if nature painted each one by hand. Modern dimes rarely attract six-figure headlines unless they hold a secret. And this coin does. Collectors crave anomalies that shouldn't exist in an age of machine perfection. And when these brown-toned 1998 P dimes started surfacing in auctions, the community buzzed. Is this real patina? Could it be mint-related? How many exist? The answer is very, very few. Only a limited number have been authenticated by grading services like NGC and PCGS with the distinct natural toning intact. Each time one appears for sale, competition ignites. Collectors know this is not a mint error. It's a time-forged masterpiece, unpredictable and unrepeatable. Its rarity lies not in a die crack or double strike, but in the way nature marked it with her own signature. According to U.S. collector market records and auction estimates, pristine examples of the 1998 P. Brown-toned Roosevelt dime have been valued as high as $115,000 in today's market. Yes, over $100,000 for a dime that most people would dismiss as dirty. But true collectors know better. That dirt is a layer of history, a chemical fingerprint of rarity. And as more numismatists recognize this variation's authenticity and beauty, its market value keeps climbing. Each passing year adds mystique. Each confirmed specimen adds proof. This coin isn't a myth. It's a modern treasure hiding in plain sight. So, if you are holding one, you are not holding a coin. You're holding a story worth a fortune. If you ever find a 1998 P dime with soft brown spots or bronze tint, resist the urge to clean it. The toning is its most powerful asset. Photograph it in natural light, record both sides, and get it professionally authenticated. Store it in a temperature-stable capsule. Oxidation continues with time, and preserving that unique coloration is key. And most importantly, keep your eyes open. The next time you see a dime that looks a little off, don't shrug it off. That slight shade might be the mark of another fortune waiting to be discovered. The 1998 P. Roosevelt dime is a modern legend, a coin that bridges the gap between everyday pocket change and priceless art. It's proof that even in an age of machines, perfection still has room for magic. The brown-toned dime reminds us that not every treasure glitters, some simply glow. And sometimes that glow is worth more than gold itself. So keep searching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the smallest coin in your hand, because you never know when one might turn into a fortune. And remember, true coin value brings you fresh discoveries and real collector updates every single day. Because every coin has a secret, and we're here to reveal it.